And immediately within 5 minutes of eating it, itchiness in the throat, redness here, redness here. What happened? So I tried 3 more times that week. I ate apples and I ate oranges, both of which I couldn't eat. Same reaction. And then I realized it wasn't the apple or the orange. It was what was on it. The one I had upstate hadn't been sprayed. Apples are heavily sprayed. And then they're frequently picked immature, and then they're protected with a paraffin wax. My body was reacting to the chemicals on the fruit. Same thing with oranges. Oranges are frequently picked green, gassed, so that they prematurely ripen, but they lack the sweetness of a true vine ripened, and then died. Now, I have an orchard now down in Florida. I grow over 40 different varieties of fruits, all organic. Oranges are never orange. They're orange where the sun hits them, and they're generally green and brown speckles on the part that the sun doesn't hit. Well, I wouldn't mind eating that, but the average person says, ooh, this doesn't look right. So we actually are conditioned to eat things that are not good. And another thing, when you buy locally, and you buy from local farmers, they're harvesting that and bring it in the same day. Now, if you were to buy a tomato, have you noticed the tomatoes taste like cardboard today? And do you remember the times when you had cut in tomato and it'd be rich and wonderful, the orbs just burst in your mouth, and you thought, wow, that's really good? That's because more often than not, many of our fruits and vegetables are harvested before they've had a chance to fully mature on the vine. The maturation of a fruit or vegetable on the vine means that the enzymes have had a chance to fully mature. It is the enzymatic action in the process of sun and irrigation of water that causes the richness of flavor. Factory farming, high commercial farming, means it's not ripening naturally. That's why, for instance, when you're down in Georgia and you pick a local Georgia peach, it's delicious. And then you get a peach that isn't vine ripened, it's tasteless, it's pithy. This is an organically grown, locally grown tomato. It was allowed to ripen on the vine. Now, we know tomatoes as a superfood. And as a superfood, I want to have this regularly. Now, how can I have this tomato? I could make a gazpacho with it. I could throw this in a blender with some garlic and onion and cayenne, a little horseradish, and it would be wonderful as a drink. Spicy, grabs your tongue, throws it 3 times around your mouth, and all the way down you think, whew, that was delicious. Or I could have it in tomato soup with some fresh basil in it. But there's no shortages of how to make this wonderful and magical fruit, and tomatoes are fruits, a part of your diet. Remember, the redder the skin, the greater the healing. And lycopene is an important nutrient, but not the only nutrient. There are over 100 different phytonutrients in this single tomato, and each one of them plays a role in helping your cells. Some are antiviral, antibacterial, some are immune modulating, others are cell protective or naturally chelating. Well, I want as much tomatoes as I can use. Oranges are terrific. Oranges not just give you vitamin C, but I believe in juicing the whole orange. Now, when you juice the skin of the orange, you're getting anti-cancer agents in the skin. Now, when you open up an orange and you look inside, well, this, all the white that you see, that is bioflavonoids. And bioflavonoids help heal the microcapillaries that burst on your face, little splotches, on your legs, the spider veins, bruising. That's all help with bioflavonoids. So vitamin C and bioflavonoids, but also what are called phyto, meaning plant-based nutrients, over 120 different phytonutrients in the orange. So juice the whole thing. Now, it might be a little different taste from what you're used to, but remember, in the seed and the skin, you actually have more nutrients that are healing than in the flesh. That's true with lemons, limes, grapefruits, and oranges. Throw a little raw honey in. And by the way, one of nature's most perfect foods is honey. Honey is the only food that will never go bad. And it's antibacterial, antiviral. You ever get a sore throat, take some hot green tea and pour a tablespoon of honey in, some bee propolis, stir it around, and drink it slowly, and it will soothe the throat and kill bacteria in the throat as well. Now, another one of our superfoods, well, we actually have two here. Two of the most important foods that we can put into our system. We have blueberries and we have almonds. It was the great sleeping prophet of the 1930s and 40s, Edgar Casey, who said 6 almonds a day help keep cancer away. People thought, well, what's he know? And then one day, they discovered that, and sure enough, almonds have chemicals that actually interfere in cancer process. Now, I'm not suggesting have a few almonds that's going to prevent cancer, but if you make almonds or almond butter or almond milk, and by the way, they now have almond milk. I know a woman in New York City, Roberta Addy, who's a wonderful chef and natural food chef. She specializes in making nut milks from almonds and cashews and macadamia nuts. It's delicious and nutritious and doesn't have the saturated fat. And it's good fiber. And it also has fatty acids in here that protect your heart. And then you have the mystical, magical blueberry. Wild blueberries are quite simply one of the most powerful anti-cancer, immune modulating, healing foods on earth. And it gets my vote for the #1 fiber in the American diet. When you consume blueberries, it expands. And as it expands into a very soft, gelatinous-like fiber in the intestine, it cleans the intestine as it sweeps through. The pigment in here is great for your eyes, it's great for your brain, terrific for your heart and your immune system. I would say have maybe an ounce or 2 of almonds or walnuts, either one. Walnuts, by the way, are great for your heart. In fact, there was a study of Seventh-day Adventists that showed that those who had 5 ounces of walnuts per week had a lower incidence of heart disease. I would say have at least a pint of blueberries a day. And one of the things I do is I take berries. And by the way, all the berries are healing. That means that we can add blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, cherries, tart cherries, the Montmorency cherries, cranberries, boysenberries, as well as currants, red currants and black currants, into our diet. And goji berries, terrifically important, as are wolfberries and mangosteen. Now, the average American's not going to consume all these. First, they're not available everywhere, but you can buy them frozen. Now, here's the key. Frozen is frequently better than fresh. Remember, you do not lose the antioxidants, you don't lose the phytonutrients, you don't lose the chlorophyll or fiber when you're thawing something that's frozen. So, fresh locally, frozen, both good. And also with frozen, you have almost everything available. Now, let's say I couldn't get the blueberries fresh. I can always get concentrates. Now, I advocate concentrates because in the morning I make a big shake, and in it I put rice milk, and then I put a scoop of protein powder made from non-genetically engineered rice or soy. I then add berries, any and all I can. If I don't have the berries, I always have the concentrates, mango concentrate and cherry concentrate, blueberry and boysenberry, and pomegranate. Pomegranate is terrific for your whole defense mechanism. It helps protect the epithelial lining of your arteries. It's super, super healing inside the body. But who's going to find a pomegranate? First, they're only seasonal, once a year in the fall. When you open them up, you get these tiny little red gelatinous seeds, and they're a mess. But when you buy a pomegranate concentrate, they've taken the pomegranate, squeezed them, evaporated off a lot of the water, so you get a real concentrated kick from it. So a tablespoon of pomegranate in that, and cherry concentrate in that, and the other berries in that, and then put a tablespoon of fresh flaxseed oil in there. Whoa, you have a terrific way to start the day using all these, or many of these different foods. So the berries are powerful. Remember, berries help rejuvenate. In fact, Dr. Martin Feldman, one of America's leading holistic physicians, board certified in neurology, an author of over 65 papers in peer-reviewed journals, graduated from Columbia College of Physicians and Surgeons. He graduated magna cum laude from Yale. I mean, he's the top-rung orthodox doctor, now top-rung complementary doctor. He recently presented with myself at the World Congress on Anti-Aging Medicine, which is 20,000 of the leading